We are crossing live to Absrod Oval, where the Scodfather will speak to the press.
I heard that he is in a grumpy mood.
Hello everybody, welcome to my channel and thank you for joining. Now in today's episode we have the Saturday night press conference just coming down. Now before the week even started we had some drama, okay? Flynn was dropped. Smith got injured, okay, because we brought Smith in, but then we had to take him out. He got injured, okay. Now there was no Smith. Boyd got dropped, okay. Hasty got dropped. So there's a lot of dramas, a lot of carnage beforehand, and a lot of people had Flynn at R2, so they had to reshuffle. They're going to have to reshuffle their teams around. But that was only the start of it. That was nothing, okay, compared to what just happened, okay. Let's start from the first game, Carlton and Hawthorn. Now, there's a player by the name of, where is he? Let me find him. Will Day. He scored, 76 Supercoach points. Now, unacceptable. Okay, now, this is a player that scored a 140 on his first game, averaged 120 from 14 games last year. Okay, and the last 2 weeks, well, the only 2 weeks that I've had him for, scored a 77, and because that was such a big score, this week he decided to go lower and scored 76, just coming down. I couldn't believe it, but that's nothing, okay? That's actually a good score compared to what the rest of them did. So, my Spuds had a week out this week. Now, let's start with Carlton. We tried that Chera. We explained the reasons. We needed to get the cash for defence, and boy, do we need some cash in that defence line. So it's as if I knew what was going to happen, but I didn't know, okay? I didn't know all my players were going to be spud, so we need as much cash as we can get in that defence line now. So ended up being Chera, even though he scored the 113. I had to trade him out anyway, regardless, because I need the cash in defence, because all I got is Spuds. I got to strengthen there up. I got to bring the big boys in. So Chera scored the 113, and the Connie scored a 104. So these are decent scores, good scores. Is anyone else a Supercoach relevant? Let's have a look now. Well, we got our boy Camporeale scored the 52, got subbed out. Yeah, let's hope that he's going to get dropped now next week, because all I need is another rookie not playing. So hopefully Camporeale plays next week. And that's it for Carlton, because at Hawthorn, at the start of the year, I was going to pick John Newcomb. I called him the weapon. The first 2 weeks, I was happy I didn't pick him because I only scored 80s. But he came back for 149, but it doesn't matter. I was going to pick him anyway. He's got the bye round next week. Who else is there? Well, we talked about Lloyd Meek last week having a bad game. Well, he had a better game, but still it wasn't the best. He scored a 90, but I wish my ruckman could score a 90. Okay, now, we'll talk about my ruckman later. Will Day, as I mentioned, the 76, the Spud. Now, we're going to trade him out next. He's sacked. Okay, we're going to sack Will Day. He's finished. Okay, no more wearing the Abs Magic Guernsey for Will Day. And that's about it in this game. Now, we're going to do a proper review on Monday, but this one is just a quick rundown of what happened, okay? So this is not a proper review, so don't panic if you're saying, oh my God, he didn't mention my players, but just a quick rundown. And, you know, the Western Bulldogs and the Magpies game, we had Tim English scored a 113 if you own him. Ed Richards was on something like 70 points and he stopped, okay? We scored a 105. We had Fraser that was on 50 points at three-quarter time. He ended up on 100, so 30 points he scored for a goal, so it was incredible. So if you own Fraser, you'll be very, 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 very happy with that one goal that he kicked. And was there anyone else? Well, Sanders didn't perform again, 62. We had, who else was here? Okay, is there anyone else of interest? Let's say, well, Davidson had a good game, 72, scored more than half my primos. So Davidson, very, very happy with his performance. That's pretty much it. And Dale, the 141, 31 touches. He was on about 40 points or even less at half time. So he had a huge second half, scoring the 141, took all the kick-ins, had 81% time on ground, went at 90% disposal efficiency. He looked decent. He looked really good. Now, going over to Collingwood now. Nick Dacos scoring the 125, and that's decent. But I don't even know if that's enough for his average. Okay, so he's got the bye round coming up soon. Actually, it's next week. So it's a decent score, 125. He needs to score it every week to hold his price. Go further down. Dan Houston was disappointing. I had my eye on him. I was thinking about picking him up. I would have picked up another Spud. Okay, so scored a 81. So he didn't have his best game. But then again, well, it was a close game. So if anything, he should have had a half-decent game, but he didn't. Now I've got my doubts on him. If we go further down, was anyone else here that's interesting? Well, the Perryman. Okay, now... some people kept him. He scored the 57. Is a no good. Okay, he's the same thing as Short, but both of them is a no good. Okay, now we have to get rid of them, so we have to find replacements, and that's pretty much it over at Collingwood. Now I'm running through this quickly because I'm a little bit upset today because my Spuds let me down so bad. I don't think I've seen an Abs Magic team this disappointing up until last year, the second last round. Or was it the last round? Something like that. I had a really bad week that week, and this was another bad one. Okay, now, Zach Merritt came back for 145 and looked decent, but kicked 4 goals. So we're not going to see Zach Merritt kick 4 goals every week, but we may see him get DPP. So it's going to be interesting if he gets forward eligibility. I don't know what the stats are yet, so we're going to find out. Caldwell looks decent. Scored the 118. It looks really decent. Now, Tassatsis scored the 78, okay, kicked the ball with his shins. I don't think he hit a target with his foot, okay, but all the targets he did kick, or he did get, were with his hands, but the contested possessions is what got him the points. So he got 14 contested, went at 68%. I think he might have hit 2 targets with his foot, okay, so he missed a lot of targets. Now, going further down, players of interest, well, Pryor, our defensive rookie, a 57, okay, that's actually acceptable compared to what Reid did. Okay, now Reid, he scored a 36. He couldn't kick the ball either. He got a good roll. He just doesn't know what to do with the ball. Absolutely no confidence. You cannot put him on field. I had him. Well, the funny thing is, I didn't put him on field. I was very happy, but the player that I put on field actually scored less. So worked that one out. Now, Edwards in his first game kicked the 3 goals, scored 48 Supercoach points. I'm not sure how much he's going to make. He needs to kick 3 goals to score 48 points, so I'm not sure how he's going to go. And Kako kicked 2 goals for his 34 Supercoach points, so that's not very good. So imagine if he did kick those 2 goals, he'd be on like 15. So that's something. Kako's going to be a slow burn as well this year. Let's move over now to the Adelaide Crows. Matt Crouch, he didn't do this for me last year, but this year he's going nuts. 73% time on ground. When he played for me, he only played 60%, so he's got more time on ground now. Scored the 143, but not many people own him. We got Dawson for 124. That's a decent score. Okay, Dawson's a Jet. He played in a lot of positions, but I couldn't work out where he was playing. Besides the midfield, he played in defence, on the wing, in the forward line. He was sort of tagged, so it's a good score for a player that's tagged. So he's virtually untaggable, because when you tag him, he moves to another spot, so it doesn't get bogged down. Going further down, Rankin, he was on 89 points at 3/4 time, and they subbed him off, but he was peeling the oranges on the bench, okay, the young man, and that earned him 8 extra points. So he scored a 97, 8 extra points on the bench. Now, he's not injured, just one of those weeks where everything goes wrong, okay? So Rankin subbed out at 3/4 time. Now, going further down, Saligo looked decent, scored a 108. He was doing better, kicked the 2 goals. I think there are better options. I'm not going to go for these mid-prices now. I've got to get the best of the best now. It's best of the best all rookies. No more mid-prices for me now. So, for me, Saligo's a pass, but if you're on a tight budget, okay, you can bring him in. Going further down, Was there anyone else of interest? Was James Peatling. It's probably the most disappointing I've seen. And Cumming, both of them. Peatling only a 47 and Cummings a 50. So both very, very disappointing. Sam Draper, he was a sub again, scored a 20. 38 fantasy points, 9 disposals in a quarter. He's actually a ball magnet, okay, Draper is. So I hope he's sub one more time, and then his price will drop, and we could probably pick him up for about 150k. So that's going to be an absolute bargain when we get him. So we could just downgrade the Draper, and hopefully he doesn't become sub for the whole year. I'm sure he'll play a few games. Now we go to the Port Adelaide and Richmond game, and we got smacked, okay. It was a 140 to 68, okay, and disaster after disaster, okay. Everything that can go wrong went wrong. Okay, well, I captained Connor Rosie, scored the one, well, it was actually 132, but they've taken 2 points off me. So it's a 130. Going further down, Kane Farrell has scored 2 100s back-to-back now, had 31 disposals, but he played Richmond, okay, so anyone can have disposals against Richmond, so he did good, kicked the goal as well. They all scored. There was about 10 of them that went over 100, maybe even more. Now, anyone else of interest? Well, there's Sam Pepper. Some of you may own him. Scored the 83, so you'll be very, very happy with that. There's Joe Berry scored a 56, so it's going to be another slow burn of a rookie. But the Horny man scored 61. Whichever player I have in my team that didn't score, okay, or they got subbed out, okay, something wrong, or they got injured. It was just one of those weeks, okay. Everything that could go wrong went wrong this week. So because the Horny man went bad, that was actually my fault, okay. So if you have any players in your team that I own, I apologize in advance, okay. I'm giving the apologies now because it's me, okay. It's nobody else. So the Horny man scored the 61. Now we go over to Richmond and the Spud, okay. Last week we were upset with an 83. So what does he do? Okay, as if that wasn't bad enough, he comes out and scores a 71. Now, and the worst part is I may actually have to keep him, okay, because I've got other things to worry about. So, short, absolute shocker. It was a terrible game. No kick-ins. All the kick-ins, I don't understand. Why would they give him kick-ins when they could give it to someone that can't kick? Okay, so they gave all the kick-ins. Where is he? Number 12, Ben Miller. He had all the kick-ins. And he went at 89%, so obviously he kicked decently, but it didn't make any sense. They should have gone to my boy here. Now, Toby Nankervis, the weapon, out of bullets. There's no bullets for Nank. Okay, now he was on 41 at three-quarter time, so the 67, I was actually happy with that. How can you be happy with 67? Okay, well, I was. Unbelievable. Now, going further down, Armstrong had a massive last quarter, scored the 49. Okay, now he was on like 15 points, so he had a huge last quarter. He's in our team, of course, because we only got the Spuds. Okay, so he's also in our team. And was there anyone else? There's one more. There's Trainer, because I didn't want to take the 35 points from Zach Reed. Why would I take 35 when I could have 24? Okay, so I took Trainer's points, 24 points. And the worst part is it actually might even count my score, because that's how bad my players are playing. Just coming down. And a rookie to watch is going to be Caleb Smith, who's going to be one of those really huge scorers. He had a 19, okay, had played half the game, even more, well, 49% time on ground. So it's probably just over half a game, because if you count the time on the bench, scored a 19, so he's going to be a big money maker for us, okay, Caleb Smith one day, okay, but maybe not this year. And when it rains, it pours, okay? It doesn't just rain. It's like a tropical cyclone, okay, at Abs Magic, because at Geelong, we have Tom Stewart in our team, scored the 9 points, got injured. I don't know how long he's out for. Could be 4 to 6 weeks, could be 2 weeks, we don't know. And disaster. My good friend wanted to pick Holmes in his team, and I actually said he asked me, who would you pick, Holmes or Stewart? And I said, well, Holmes is going to get the tag. He's never averaged 100. Stewart's at least 50% midfield. I said, just get Stewart, okay? And he's not happy, okay? Outside noise, he says, very upset with the outside noise. Just come it down. Anyway, so, Holmes only scored the 91 anyway, so it's not like Holmes set the world on fire. He was tagged. And the boy that I liked was Connor O'Sullivan with the 88. That's a huge score, okay, for a rookie. It's actually better than all my primos. Actually, probably my third highest score if I had him. But no, I wouldn't have him. Why would I have him when I can have rookies scoring 20s? They're better, okay? Just come in there. I can't help myself. So, Connor O'Sullivan, we're going to bring him in next week because we think that O'Sullivan is better than Tom Stewart. Anyway, so we'll just cash out on Stewart, bring in O'Sullivan, and we go further down. People had De Koning, only scored a 74, 68% or 70% time on ground. I don't know. Stewart injured now. They may bring in their other ruckman. We'll see how it goes. Maybe the experiment's not working for them. He only had the 16 touches. Last week he had 25. Okay, so or 26 or something. So I'm not sure about De Koning. He pretty much scored what he's priced at. It's about that price, 74. If we go further down, Nevitz, okay, 80 fantasy points, only 58 Supercoach points. I mean, he would have scored more Supercoach points if he was in another team, but because he played for Abs Magic, they only gave him 58 because, what did he do? He had 8, where is it? How many clangers did he have? 4 clangers. Only 8 contested. Even had a goal. Take the goal. He's only scored a 50. But it was a good game. I can't understand. But then again, a lot of the Saints had the points this week. Okay? It was all Saints. And we mentioned Tom Stewart. Okay, these are not good. Okay, at least these are the players I'd rather start with. The injury-prone Graham Pass. He got injured last week. Still scored 100s. But this time he's done something else. I don't know. He was just crawling on the floor. I think he did his knee. So we're going to find out. It made me so upset. Now, we're going to St Kilda. Jack McRae is captain material now. Okay, we've got a captain. Okay, and it was under 400k if we didn't have him. So scored a 162, 35 touches. Had a big week last week as well. McRae is the man. Okay, could be our best player. At Abs Magic, he's our best player. Okay, so Sinclair. Really like Sinclair, okay? I'm going to actually get him next week. Scored the 145, kicked the 2 goals. He looks sensational, okay? I love this game. Marshall looked good as well, 121. I don't think Boyd's going to come in the team. The only problem for Boyd is, the only good thing for Boyd is the boy that took his spot, Kilda, the poor Boyd's cramped up, okay? So couldn't handle it. Was, I don't know if he had a hamstring or cramped up, but he was really cramped. So I'm not sure if he's fit enough at the moment. But maybe Boyd comes back. But I can't see Boyd playing forward, so maybe he doesn't come back. I don't know what's going to happen, so we'll find out. But Marshall went nuts. And if Marshall went nuts, and he's a good around-the-ground player, you can tell. He's had 13 kicks, 6 handballs. Can you imagine when Sam De Koning plays against Gorn and other ruckman, what's going to happen? Okay, so it's a bit scary for Sam De Koning. Now, Jack Steele, actually disappointing, 106. McRae's got all the points, okay? McRae's getting everything in the middle. So McRae's the man. And go further down, there's not much else to talk about. It's in Kilda. I mean, we've got the rookies. Max Hall, he scored a 70, I think, last week. Well, this week only a 33. So it's similar to all the other rookies. Okay, he's not scoring, but he may have a bit of job security. O'Connell scored a 42. Okay, we're struggling to find rookies that are scoring. And Hugo Garcia scored a 25. Okay, so if you've still got him, he's going to drop in price big time. He may even be cheaper than the rookies right now. The ones we have, just come down. Now we go to my team. Okay, now what has my team done this week? Let's have a look. Okay, now I don't even want to show this. I'm too embarrassment right now. Just come down. But I have to show it. So let's look for scores under. Well, our 5 worst scores. What are they? Okay, now Stewart's score gets taken. Thank God for best 18, by the way, this week. Okay, now Stewart's score gets taken out. trainer's score gets taken out. There's 2 scores already gone, so we're not going to count these 2 scores. Thankfully, okay, these 2 scores are gone. Now, the score of 49 from Armstrong gets taken out. Well, unfortunately, Johnson's not going to play. He might have scored a 60, but doesn't matter. He's not going to count. So the 49 is not going to count. So that's because 49 comes over here where Stone is. Okay, so that's not going to count. So now we've got 1, 2, 3 scores not counting. Now, the next 2 scores that won't count is the 58 and the 52. So that's 5 scores that won't count. Now, all I need now, well, 58 being now my lowest score. Okay, so I just need Bice to do something. Okay, now he has to do something, and I need, so at least if he can score a 70 or something, it makes me happy. So if Bice can go 70, then Never's score gets knocked out. We don't count this score. Also need Lindsay to go about 70 or 80. So it's actually, it is a bad score, but it's not as bad as it looks, okay? Because I've also got 2 players here that yet to play, and one of these 2 has to go about 70. They have to crack the 58 and go about the 70 mark. So if one of these 2 boys can do it, then we get another score from one of these 2 boys. Or else our low score will be a 58. That's a shocker. Okay, now probably the worst score I've ever seen in my team. I've never had a score this bad before. So we nailed the captain. We got Rosie that scored a 130. I'm actually thinking about not taking it. That's how bad it is right now to make up for some ground. I'm thinking about captaining Dunkley. Okay, now, but at the moment, I'm just going to leave it on Callahan. And that's another thing. We've also got a Primo not playing. So we've got one player missing. So we're projected to score 1,700 exactly. That's very bad. Okay, now in our leagues, I think I'm losing all the matchups. I don't think I'm winning a matchup. We'll go to the leagues here. Go to game day. Now, the Phantom is 130 points ahead of me on projection. Okay, we're playing against the Phantom in the Scodfather Legends. Now, all the teams in the Scodfather Legends, they're all doing well except for Abs Magic. We have a look. Actually, where are the scores? Okay, let's get over here. Alright, here it is here. Okay, so we've got George is going to have a good week, going to 1831. We've got Janoff going to have a good week, 1839. So I'm about 100 points behind, 130 points behind a lot of the teams. So it's not as bad as it looks, although it is bad. JP is having a good game, 1891. Dan Batten's at 1772 projection. We've got Joe, 1832, against Andrew Locke, 1841. So a lot of the teams are having, well, the Mini Monks having a 1730 against JD, 1743. So these 2 have joined me as well. Okay, they're having some bad luck. We got Damon Jackson, also 1731. So it's not doom and gloom, okay? So we got Damo having a 1678. We've got myself, 1700. We've got Al Payton at 1747. We've got Selby at 1691. So you can see that it's not, everyone's not having a good week, okay? Even if Selby's having a bad week, you can imagine everyone else is going to have a bad week. So he's had a few players that are not working as well for him, and he's also had Stewart. It's just so unlucky, okay? And but he's got better cover than what I've got. I think he's got Kako as well. So anyway, him and I are having a bad week, okay? Now, we've got Supercoach of Diaz bounced back this week. We've got Hayden is having a bad week, okay? So it's one of those weeks, okay? You're going to have in the year one of these weeks where you're just going to have a bad week, okay? And this is the bad week that I'm having. So if I can join Selby, I'm happy, because if the GOAT has a bad week, I can have a bad week too. So we'll see. And who else is having a bad week? That's about it. So all the matchups go to game day leagues. Okay, we'll go back to all the matchups. Okay, and Wango, 0 pressure. Okay, she doesn't show how much you're winning by, but this is the Scodfather champions. Let's have a look at the. Now this league is ranked 5th overall. Okay, now. Thanks to me, it's going to be ranked a lot less this week, okay, so I apologise. So it's going to be ranked probably 100th after I finish with it. So it was ranked number 5, the Scodfather champs. And how's my friend here, Wango, going? Let's have a look. what's it? Actually, we'll look at it later. Anyway, what else is going on? Okay, now Scodfather Cup 1 against the Bird Leaves. I'm losing this matchup. Okay, the Bird Leaves have got me. Rolls Royce, my friend Engo. It's a tight tussle. Okay, now that's a projection is 1710 to 1700s. Again, you can see the projection there, 1741. Looks like I'm going to lose that one. Another close one with Jaden from Meow Town, 69. Okay, now he's got a 1702. I might beat their Mitch's Monsters. That's Mitchell's team, 1700 to 1665. Actually, I'm going to win a couple of games. I can't believe this. Okay, now I've got a game against the Pies. Okay, 1626 versus 1700s. Actually, I'm going to win more than I thought I was going to win. Okay, now I'm playing against Romans Rangers, 1700 to 1591. Adventure Tortoise, okay, 1700, 1677. Monkey Magic versus Abs Magic. The magicians up against each other, and the Monkey Magic is ahead. Another close game here. This is Ruck Whisperers, Joshua's team, 1700 to 1703. And the Meatheads, that's Mitchell's team, 1700 to 1683. As you can see, even a lot of us here are struggling. Even if I go now, actually, I'm going to show you Scodfather champions, okay? Now, even last year's winner, well, he's having a good week, okay? He's going 18-16. Actually, we've got a boy here, Max. He's voting Labour. Actually, Max is actually only a 14-year-old boy, okay? Though he's a young man, okay? He's having a huge week, 19-14. This is unbelievable. What kind of team has Max got? Let's have a look at Max's team. Who's he got in his team? How's he projected to score that much? He's got McRae. He's Captain Rosie. Okay. He's got a huge projection. 19-14 is unbelievable. Okay, now. Anyway, so good luck to Max. Okay, he's going to go nuts. And even the champ, 18-16. I think the pass mark this week is going to be around about 1750, okay? And I'm going to fail the pass mark. Anything over 1800 is going to be a good score from the looks of it. So that's what I'm seeing around the grounds. Now, if you're having a bad week in Supercoach, don't worry. It's only round 2, and round 2, you can't win Supercoach, okay? Even next week, it doesn't matter, okay? Because the preparation for round 5 is what's going to win you Supercoach. Round 5 is when Supercoach starts, because when you got bye rounds, scores like 9 don't even count, okay? So we are saved by these bye rounds. We're only going to lose 100 points here, maybe gain 50 or 60 points there. You're not going to have much gain or loss in these bye rounds. What really matters is when you start round 5, okay? So our season starts in round 5, and that's when we're going to understand how good your team structure is, or how good anyone's team structure is, and that's when you start worrying about the points, okay? Don't worry about the points too much now, because they're not going to matter. I'm not even fussed, okay? My ruckman scored a 67. My player got injured out for 9. Short scored 10. They're all Spuds, okay? I've got a team of Spuds, but it doesn't matter, okay? Because we're preparing for round 5. That's when Supercoach starts. And you need to have a 7-week of sprinting from round 5 to round 12. That's when everything changes. So chin up, everyone, and maybe even Hasty. If you have Hasty, he might even play next week, because the player that replaced him is out with concussion. So we might actually see Hasty next week come back. So if we get lucky, okay, see how that goes. Might even get Boyd back, but I doubt it, because I'm not sure if Boyd can play in a forward line. So maybe he won't come back, but I think Hasty will come back. Anyway, that's all for today. Thank you for joining, and remember one thing. It's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice. Ciao for now.
That's all, folks.